Priya from SOAPUI tutorials, and today in the SOAPUI training I'm going to start with my day 1 schedule, and it's a complete list. Till day 30 I have written each and everything which we are going to cover. All the topics are there. Right, so but before moving on to our first topic related to the SOAPUI, I just want to discuss some of the frequently asked questions which people generally ask me. Okay, so the very first is, what will be the course duration? The course duration will be 25 to 30 hours. It means 1 hour daily, so 6 weeks approx. Okay, 5 to 6 weeks I'll take to complete our training in SOAPUI. What all will be covered? What all I'll cover? I'll start with REST and manually how you can do automation, and then how we can do it with the help of Groovy, as Groovy is one of the language, as a scripting language it is, with the help of which we can test our complete web service or any of the web API. And then I'll discuss about the framework, which is data-driven framework. Okay, and the next question is it necessary to learn Groovy? Yes, Groovy is very much necessary, because without Groovy you can't automate it. You can't automate any of the web service. Okay, and yes, I'm going to make you comfortable with Groovy. You don't need to learn anything extra for that. Okay, the concept which I discuss, it's more than enough for you to know to automate the service. Okay. Yes, Ramya.
So Priya, are you going to teach Java language to automate web services, or only Groovy?
Okay, see, Java is the language with the help of which you can surely automate, but with the help of free version. Okay, with the help of pro version you don't need Java, you just need Groovy. If you are saying about Java, Java is helpful within the free version. Within the pro version, only Groovy is required. And your question is, am I going to teach Java? Answer is no. I'm not going to teach from a very basics, but yes, I'll teach you the concepts which I'm going to cover. How I'm using this concept, how I'm using constructor, I'll tell you about that one. How I can call any class, how I can call any function within a class. Okay, so the concepts which are required I'll discuss, but I'll not discuss anything extra. Okay, maybe some of you do know Java and some of you may don't know Java, but I'll make sure one thing, that you all will be comfortable with the code which I'll discuss, which all I'll cover. Okay. Yes. Next is, will we work on project? Yes, surely I'm going to cover one of the project, which is the application. Actually, it is a complete web service, which is retail application. Okay, I'll start. It is our application. I'll start with this one. I'll show you how to deploy it on the server, and how to how to test it, how to create the cases, and then in the last, generating the reports. Reporting part is the last thing within any of the project. Okay, and surely after that batch file to come, I'll also discuss about that one. Okay, and will we cover SOAP? Okay, see, maybe you know about SOAP, I don't know, but the thing is, SOAP is a part of the SOAPUI with the help of which we can test. It is a protocol. Okay, I'll discuss about this as well, but as I said, some of the questions, if you know SOAPUI, then you might know about SOAP and the rest. Okay, so SOAP, I'll just discuss about a very little topic. I'll discuss about SOAP. Rest, I'll work on REST only, because SOAP is not at all used. 99% of the cases, REST is used. Okay, SOAP is not as much famous these days. And will we cover free as well as the paid version? Yes, I'll cover both. As I said, 2 versions of SOAPUI we do have. So I'll start with the free version, and I'll also work on the pro version. Okay, so both the versions of SOAPUI, I'll try to make you comfortable with both. And will we get link to recorded sessions? Yes, I do record each and every session. Okay, and after class, after 1 to 2 hours of class, I'll share the link of, it's a YouTube link which you will get for the trial classes, and after that you will get a batch ID, with the help of which you can access all the recorded sessions of the training as well. Okay, pre-recorded sessions of Ashish as well as the recorded sessions which I will record daily. Okay. Yes, Vijay. Okay. Next question is, will you help us in preparing resume? Yes, surely you can share your resume with me and then I'll make updation. You need to create your own resume first, then I'll add some of the keywords of SOAPUI with the help of which you can, you'll prefer in any of the job interview if you go. Okay. Do we need to learn Groovy? Yes, I've already answered this question. No, you don't need to learn it extra, like any extra thing, but the thing which I'll discuss, it's more than enough. The same thing for Java as well. The topics which I'll discuss within the class, it's more than enough to know. Then what all are the things which you must know before coming to class? Only you do need to know any of the concept of programming languages like C, C++, Java, if any, or I can also say .NET as well. Okay, if you know how to add if-else condition, how to add loops, then it's more than enough for this SOAPUI session. Okay, how we can create a function, how we can call, how we can create variables, okay, like this. And these, okay, so the list is going to extend a lot. Okay, but these are some technical questions which I don't need to discuss right now. Okay, so I hope all the concepts related to our training is clear. Fine, so shall I move on to the topics for today? So these all are the topics for day 1. Yes, Vijay, any doubt? Anything you want to ask?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
I don't know whether it is very early to ask. SOAPUI is a functional testing tool, or it is, or do I, okay? Okay, let me know.
Wait. Okay. SOAPUI is a functional testing tool as well as it is a security testing tool. Okay. We can do both the things within SOAPUI only. Fine.
Yeah, 1 second. Just because late, I think I just hurried up. But secondly, I just want to know, as of now, I know basics about Java, not to the core level, and basics about this database, so not to the core level. Is it okay? I can cope up with this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, surely. As I said, I'm going to record each and every session, and I think you are 5 minutes late, and I just discussed about that thing here. Ramya did ask me the same question. I am going to teach you Java. See, the thing is, the topics which I'll cover, you don't need to learn anything extra out of that. Java, Groovy, these are the two languages which I'm going to use. Okay, if you don't know the code, then it's not a big thing. As I said, you just need to know these all things. How we can add conditions, how we can add loops. Okay, rest is my responsibility to teach you, to make you comfortable with the concepts of Java and the concepts of Groovy as well. Okay.
Is it that you're going to teach us at the same time when the classes are there, or you are going to take a separate, any special class for it, individual class?
No. Within 25 to 30 hours of class, I am going to discuss each and everything. Okay, it's a complete 6 weeks of training. Fine, and even after that, if you get any doubt, and as you are saying a separate session, I'll surely help you, but I'll not take daily session for that. If you have any doubt, you can ping me on Skype, then I'll surely try to help you out for that. Okay?
Last one, is it an interactive session, or it is just you proceed with the the training, and at the end we need to ask, or like we need to have with a mail chain interaction?
No, it's a completely interactive session. As you're asking me questions, these all things are even getting recorded. Okay? A complete 1 hour, even 5-10 minutes more I'll take. If you have any doubt, I'll not leave if the concept is not clear for any of the day. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. So these all are the topics for today, which I'm going to start. Very first topic is what is a web service, and okay, see here. So these all are the topics which I'm going to start: SOAPUI testing, web services testing, web API testing, Rest-Json. These all are the actually in the last I'm going to relate each and everything. These all are the 5 topics in a single statement. So that's why I write here like how these all things I'm going to cover. Okay. So it's a day 1 topics are here. What is a web service? Where we use web service and how web services works. See, within first 5 topics, okay. Till 5, only one thing is discussed about web service. But what is a web service? We need to know what is a web service, how it is related to SOAPUI, why I am discussing about this. Okay, so let's start with a web service. What is a web service? Web service is nothing but it's a completely a service. Okay, it's a service. Service means any of the requests which one is sending and the response which one is getting back. Right? We can say this thing. If you demand for any of the service, you will send some request and you'll get back some response. So I'll say that if it is a web service, it means that the service offered by any of the electronic device available on the web. Very simple. It's a simple statement. Okay, if this is one of the website and users are getting the service back, okay, if users are getting service back, then I'll say this is my one of the service which I'm getting on the web or on the internet. Okay, now the next thing is where we use web service. Okay, where we can use a web service. See, as I said, it is nothing but a request and response thing, right? Request and response. Fine, so I'll say that. Now see, the question here is where we use a web service. What is a web service? It's done. Now where we use web service. Now see the definition again. It's a way. What is a web service? I'll start with that one, then I'll relate it where we can use it. Okay, it's a way to communicate between 2 different applications available on different platforms operating in different languages are web service. Again, one more definition. Fine, so what is there? It's a way to communicate. Communicate means request and response. Request will be sent from the one of the part of my complete document. Say if it is say if here one user is present, it's user 1. From user 1 request I'll send to say if it is user 2. I'll not discuss about the servers right now. Okay. So it's only about the user 1 and user 2. They both are communicating, right? Communication means what? Communication means request will be sent from the user 1 and then user 2 is going to send back some of the response. Fine. So communicate if they are communicating, and maybe see here between 2 different applications. Instead of application, you can also say users, which are working on the different platforms which are available on different operating systems. Okay, language means say if it is a PHP based application or it is a Java based application. They both are communicating. Then it is a web service and we are using it to communicate. We are using it for the communication purpose. Fine, so it is where we use web service. So if you relate it with your daily life, the request and response, you will see that at each and every place where you are working on where you are even surfing on the internet, it is nothing but a web service. Okay, so how I can relate? Say if this is you, user 1, you are working, you are present on the Firefox. Okay, so I'll say this is Firefox and it's user 1. Okay, and from here you send the request. You send the request of for fb.com. Say if it is like this. Okay, so what you did from the user, from an end user, from the browser as Firefox, you send the request to the fb.com, which is nothing but a server, which is nothing but a third-party location from there. So this is what? This is my request, right? And from your fb.com, you are going to get back the response. Am I right? So this is nothing but a response. So this a complete thing is nothing but a web service, and we can use a web service to make the communication possible. Okay. And next is how web services works. Now this is the important thing again. I'll say how web services works. Web services, okay, I have already discussed about Java application and the PHP based application. I have also discussed about the request and response. Right, now the thing is how this communication is possible, how they are safe, how a user as working on the Firefox, sending the request as fb.com, just searching for that and getting back the website for facebook.com, right? How is this possible? Sending the request and getting back the response. So in between of request and response, some protocols are there. Okay, so here this is the scientific definition for a web service. What I'll say, how web services work, it is nothing but a scientific definition. Now see what is written over here. It's a collection of open protocols and standards used for exchanging data between different applications or systems. Right, this is exactly the thing which I just need to explain you. Okay, I start with a service offered by the internet or a web. Then I discuss about the communication. Then I'm discussing about the protocols and the standards. I can also start with this definition, with this definition, collection of open protocols and standards. And surely you're not able to understand this. So that's why I start with a very basic definition. Okay, I start with a service offered on the internet. Then I started the communication between the two different applications that I'm discussing about, some protocols and standards. Yes, any doubt?
Yeah, I have one doubt. You told it is different application. It cannot even be a same application like Java platform.
Yeah.
We cannot do that.
We can also do that. Yeah, no, we can also do that.
Okay.
Okay. How web services work is done. Okay, now it's not done. Okay. As I was saying about the communication is done. Fine. Now the thing is how such communication is getting possible. How the request and response are getting transferred and getting back some of the data from and sending it from one application to the another application. How this is working. In between the request and response, a complete context is like this. What it is? There is something available in between the two applications, and that something is nothing but the protocols and the standards. We'll discuss about these both. And in the very starting, I discussed about SOAP and REST, if you remember. So that SOAP and REST is over here. Okay. So these are the protocols and some of the architecture present within the SOAPUI or a web service. Fine. So XML and JSON will also discuss about that one after some time. So how web services work, I hope it's clear with the help of some protocols, some languages, many things are there. Fine. Now the thing is, examples of web service. Okay. What do you think? What is a web service? Can you please tell me? Farah, Ramya, Vijay, can you please relate it with any of the different applications?
Like we are searching for any hotels or we are searching for any travel tourism spots or tourism where we can book a ticket. So we were sending a request for the 10 sites. So with that we may get a response saying that based on our condition we may get some responses. Like we might have a book with 1-star or 2-star hotel, or with the price range condition, or with the like that. Is that the question response they're getting? Because they're sending for any hotel. So in that it is synchronizing, means what you call it, it's filtering and giving us the result what is our based on our requirements.
Okay, fine.
Is it clear or still I need to pick it up?
Yeah.
No, means still I need to give more description on this. So that is
it's a very brief description.
And it is happening through XML data where the format as you just
Stop. Vijay, stop.
Okay.
You are going in very detail. Now, let me explain. As I was saying, a simple example of web service. You said for hotel searching, or as I said, Facebook, Gmail, Amazon, any of the websites. See, these all are what? So SOAPUI tutorials, ETL testing tutorials, UTP7. These all are the websites. Fine. So as I said, what is the example of a web service? These all are what? Let's say these all are my, just a minute. Let me start again. Fine. So Amazon.com or a MakeMyTrip.com hotel searching app or any of the website, these all are my websites. And what is a web service? Web service is present over here. Okay, so let me write first a web service or a web API. Okay, so what does it mean? See, this is what website is what and web service is what. As a difference, I was saying website, Amazon, MakeMyTrip, Facebook.com, Mantra, and many more. These are the websites, and we call these all things as your present on the GUI. Okay, GUI is something with which user do interact, and API or a web service is something on which GUI is present. Okay, so we all are here to test these web services, these APIs on which GUI is present. So your web service may be, you may have your project on the SOAPUI, or you may have your project on API, web service testing. Okay, but one thing, make sure that one thing, maybe you do have the GUI for your application, or maybe you don't have. Okay, if you are going to work with API means REST only, then you will not have any GUI for that. Okay, but if it is web service, then you may have GUI. So make sure one thing, that we are going to test this thing, web service and web API. We are not going to test our website. For website, we do have different tools as well, Selenium. Okay, but for web service, it's SOAPUI, which I'm going to teach you. For web service or a web API, we do have SOAPUI. SOAPUI is a web API testing, web services testing. Fine. So these all are the websites, and these all do have its GUI as well. So for GUI testing, it's a different thing, but we all are here for the SOAPUI, and for SOAPUI, it's a web service which I'm going to test, and web service is nothing but the API. Fine. So now the next thing is, let's take the example of MakeMyTrip as which was saying about that one. Let me start with that. You'll open this MakeMyTrip.com. Okay, so it's giving you, okay, some of the requirements are already there. You'll fill these all text boxes according to your requirement. From Delhi to Mumbai, I want to travel on this date, or you can also change, and then I'll say search. After I select search, I'll get the list, a filtered list of all the flights which are available. It's a huge list, right? It's a huge list with the complete, with its name, with the timing, how much fare they are going to apply, and I'm also getting the option of if you want to book it or not. Right? So many things are there. What is this? Just see over here. This is nothing but what I did. See what I'm saying? From MakeMyTrip as an end user, from the browser as Firefox, I just write this website. Right? Then I fill the requirements. From Delhi to Mumbai, I want to travel on this date. How many passengers, with which class you want to travel. Right? So from this side, I just fill my requirement, and send my request to all the vendors. So this is nothing but the request which I am sending to all the vendors which are available. Right? This is the thing which I just did. And in return, what I'm getting the response which all are available for that requirements. Okay, so let me write here with the green color, it is request. Okay, green color, and then I'll change it to. So what I get back, say if I just send the request, I just send my requirements to all the vendors, then from vendor 1, I get back. Say if you have thousands of vendors, what is working behind the scenes actually, Make My Trip is going to send your request to all the 1,000 vendors. But response I'll just get back from those vendors who do give me the service for that requirement, who are capable of giving me that requirement. So filtered output I'm getting, filtered response I'm getting. Okay, so here is user. Here is user. Fine. So I am just getting back the response from those vendors, from those vendors who do satisfy the requirements which I just mentioned over here. These are my requirements. Okay. So this is all about how web services work, how it looks. See, this is my nothing but the website for Make My Trip. But behind the scenes, my web API or web services is working actually. Okay, for each and every website, we do have a web service as well. Okay, now let's discuss about some of the. Okay, now can you please tell me Vijay, Ramya, and the third one is Farah. Can you please tell me how the communication is possible? I just explained that thing in my previous slides. How the request and responses getting exchanged, how this communication is getting possible? Any one of you?
Yeah, through SOAPUI, REST, XML, JSON.
Okay, through SOAPUI. Yes, Farah, your answer?
Yeah, same through XML or JSON and all.
Okay. First, yes, Vijay, your answer?
No, just wanted to get back to the same thing what you told. The website and the GUI, and the behind GUI we have API. So this is website is one of the we are using it like a GUI to send a request. So that is a GUI, and what is actually internally it is happening is through API it is happening.
Right.
That is known as web services.
Yes.
So we have if we have to go a little bit in depth, so that happens to the XML format, or that is known as SOAPUI.
Yeah, stop.
When a request is
Stop again, Vijay, stop. Let me explain now. Yeah, stop. Stop again, Vijay, stop. Let me explain now. Okay, so Ramya was saying about SOAPUI. Ramya, you are right, but here I'm not discussing about the tool. Okay, SOAPUI is a tool. Okay, with the help of which I can do such request and response, I can send it. But my question was, how this communication is getting possible? And then Farah said with the help of XML JSON. Okay, a little bit right. And Vijay explained in a very good way. See, the thing is, just a minute. Here, in between my user and in between my server, or from the other end, I'll not discuss about server again, I'll say it's a very big thing. It's my first end, it's my second end. Okay, so from the browser I just send the request, and from the another party, third party, I just get back the response, right? And here in between my SOAP, my REST, XML, JSON, WSDL, WADL, URL. See, many things are there. Okay, many things are there. So all of these things are working to send the request and getting back the response And then if you want to test, then again you do need to know each and everything. Okay, so REST and JSON is what? REST and SOAP, this first one. SOAP and REST is what? SOAP and REST. SOAP is my protocol. REST is my architecture which I am going to use. We'll discuss about this in very detail in my next sessions. Okay. SOAP and REST we are going to use here for the communication purpose. I'll not discuss how, but these are my protocols and architecture. XML and JSON are my languages with the help of which the request and response are getting exchanged. And WSDL and WADL is something with the help of which we will get to know if it is SOAP, if it is REST. Understand? So in between the request and response, these all things are actually working. Okay? So this is all about how we can relate, how we can work. Okay? And again I'll say we'll discuss about all of these things in a very detail, but today I'm just introducing with each and every topic. Now I hope you know about SOAP. SOAP is something with the help of which we can exchange our content. XML and JSON is the language. WSDL, WADL, URL is something with the help of which we'll understand if it is SOAP or if it is REST. Okay? I hope it's clear. Now let's discuss about API versus GUI. API and GUI is what? API is something which is, okay, the same diagram. API is something on which GUI is present. Okay, and let us relate it with the same thing which I just tell you. GUI is my website and API is my web service or a web API. Fine. So on API, our GUI is present, and we are here to test this API, not this GUI. For GUI testing, as I said, we have different tools, but for API, we are going to use SOAPUI only. Fine. So GUI is my website. It's a graphical user interface with which end user is going to interact, and API is my web service or a web API. It's a application programming interface with the help of which our complete communication is getting possible. For all the GUI, API is present. For each and every GUI, API is present. Okay? So it's okay. Till this, everything is clear. Next, I'll discuss about in more details about the jargon, XML, JSON, SOAP, REST. Till this, all clear? We are done with these three topics. Okay, let me discuss about the next topic, then I'll ask for your doubts. What all are the jargons available in a web service? I think you do. Now you do know about it's. Okay, Ramya, Farha, Soumya, Vijay as well, all of you. What is XML? I think Soumya just joined right now. Farha, Ramya, can you please tell me what is XML?
It's a language which is used to communicate between GUI and API web services.
Okay, GUI and API. Okay. What is JSON, Ramya?
JSON, I guess JSON should also be the same thing. It's used to communicate between the GUI and web services.
Okay. And Farah, what is SOAP? What is SOAP? SOAP or REST? The thing which you know, I'm not discussing about, just give me the definition, just SOAP and REST. How much you understand from the last 30 minutes I'm discussing about these. SOAP and REST?
They are tools which are available for making web services possible.
Okay. So you know about XML, JSON, SOAP, REST, anything you know? She's not able to listen me. Okay. Vijaya, what is WSDL, WADL? Vijay, what is WSDL, WADL? Vijay, what is?
See, WSDL is one of the, like what I can say, it all the predefined conditions will be there in WSDL that is used for SOAP, and WADL is the same thing for the REST, and I'm not sure about URLs. And SOAP is one of the services what we use to interact with SOAP. That is currently what we are using now. With web services what we are interacting, and REST is happening through the, I think, JSON, through JSON REST.
Okay, fine. Just a minute. So let's start with this image. Hello Soumya, can you hear me? I think something's wrong. Okay, so this is the only thing which I'm explaining, the request and response. Now let's see where these all jargons I can fit within this image. Okay, these all are the jargons which are available. Now I just want to see where these all jargons I can fit in my web service. Okay, so XML, I just start with XML and JSON. These all are the languages. These both, listen, Ramya, Farah, Vijay and Soumya. These XML and JSON, these are the languages which are available with the help of which I can do communication between the browser, as from the end user, from your Firefox, okay, and from my Firefox, from my browser, I'm going to send the request, and then I'm going to get back the response from the server. Okay, I send my request to the server, and from the server I'm going to get back the response. Okay, we are done with this. Now let's fit. So XML and JSON are the languages. Just remember one thing, these both are the languages. I'll not discuss how these languages looks and how it works, but just it's about both are the languages with the help of which the communication is possible. Okay, so request and response are going to send within the XML format or within the JSON format. Okay, so where does SOAP and REST fit? These, see, if I am saying that I want to send my request, I want to get back the response, surely we do need a security as well, right? So for security purpose, we use SOAP and REST. Okay, so SOAP is my protocol and REST is my architecture. Okay, and here I'm not at all relating it with SOAPUI tool, because as I said, SOAPUI is my tool. Okay, so SOAP and REST are separate things. Fine. So XML and JSON, it's done over here just to make the communication possible. The communication so that both parties can understand. Okay, so WSDL and WADL is again nothing but the, as Vijay said, it's WSDL is complete features or the conditions available within my web service, through which I can decide if it is SOAP, if it is REST. See, if I'm saying it is WSDL, then it is my SOAP. Okay, just see, if I'm using WSDL to make the communication, then it is my SOAP protocol, and if I'm using WADL, then it is REST. Okay, and one more thing, URLs. See, WADL and URLs both can work within a WADL. All the URLs will be present, and one more thing, the both okay. So if I'm saying I'm working with REST, then it is possible that I'm working with WADL or I'm working with URLs. But if it is SOAP, then only WSDL will be there. Understand? So these are the things the jargons within a web service. XML and JSON are my languages. Let me change the color again. So XML and JSON are my languages. SOAP and REST are my protocols or the rules for the security purpose, and the WSDL, WADL URLs are going to decide if it is SOAP, if it is REST, or what. I hope it's clear. Is this clear? Message me for that.
Yeah, I have one. Okay. Okay, shall I ask?
Yeah, sure. You can.
Yeah, means SOAP is a protocol, and through XML and JSON data is in exchange, or through SOAP only data is exchange. I'm hearing slight difference between XML, JSON, and SOAP and REST. A slight minor difference, which I'm not able to understand.
Okay, sure. I'll explain. Just a minute. XML and JSON are the languages which I'm going to use. Okay, there is a particular format for that. And SOAP and REST will be, just a minute. If I'm saying, first thing is my request and response. Okay, this is the very basic thing. These request and response are going to enclosed within a language, XML or JSON. Okay, and it's just a language. I can send my complete data in XML format or in JSON format, and above that there is a protocol for the security purpose. Okay, for security we do need SOAP or REST. Fine. So it's a one step above language, XML and JSON. Okay, and just give me 10 more minutes and you'll be more understand and more comfortable with the thing. Okay, just wait for some time, Vijay.
Okay, to be more clear, we are communicating. We need to communicate with respect. So SOAP is SOAP and JSON. I'm sorry if I'm correlating it on the wrong way.
No, just as I said, wait for 5-10 minutes and you'll be understand where these both are different and where XML JSON actually stands and where SOAP and REST actually present. Okay, just 5 to 10 more minutes, just wait. Okay, now the last slide is, I think I explained in more detail. I've already explained. It's a language. See, XML is my extensible markup language. JSON is my JavaScript object notation. These are just the full form of that keyword which I'm actually using. It's famous with XML, JSON, SOAP. SOAP is my simple object access protocol, representation, state transfer, architecture. Okay, so many things are there. Okay, so now let's discuss about the jargons in more detail. See, if I'm saying that it's over here. Okay. So if I'm saying request and response are going to be sent from the browser and response, is this necessary that both the browser and server must communicate in a single language, in a language which both the parties can understand? Yes, this is the required thing. Okay, so request and response, the language in which I'll send the request, that language must be understood by the server, and the language in which server is going to get back the response, that language must be understood by the browser as well. Fine. So for the language purpose only, XML and JSON are used. Okay, see here, for the systematic flow, one should use only any specific common language which all the parties must understand. These are XML and JSON. Okay, XML is my tag-based language and JSON is nothing but my key-value pair. It consists of key-value pair, enclosed braces and double quotes. Okay, so the format of XML and JSON, I'll tell you about that one as well. Just wait. For the systematic flow, we do need a language which is XML and JSON. And for the security purpose, for the connection must be secure. The request and response, there may be some credentials for your account your password. Okay, so for that, security is must. Okay, so SOAP and REST are used for that. Okay, so SOAP is my messaging protocol which is used to assign rules, okay, for the communication purpose, and REST is my architecture which contains some of the building blocks within which only we can work. Fine. So next it's a WSDL. WSDL, as I said, WSDL is a document which contains some of the constraints, the rules which one must follow. Okay, and WSDL actually contains all the services which are actually available within any of the web service. And WADL is what? WADL is my complete document which is available on the, which is actually available. It actually works in the same way as WSDL works. Both are the documents, but it is concerned with SOAP. WSDL concerned with SOAP, and WADL consists with works with REST only. Fine. So URLs are nothing but the collection of protocols, and each URL is related to one service, and it is also concerned with REST. So these both are for WADL and URL we work with REST, and for WSDL it's with REST. And okay. Okay, fine. Now XML and JSON. Now XML and JSON comes. Yes.
1 second. I have one question. You told, can I ask?
Yes. Yeah.
For the rest, you told it is architecture.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you would tell more about it in the rest, or like would like just like to give a brief, like what is that architecture means?
Okay. See that thing I'll explain. Okay, see, today the topics for it's over here. Okay, we are discussing about a very introduction, just an introduction to all. It's a language, it's a protocol, it's architecture, it's a document, that's it. Okay, rest we'll do tomorrow. How it works, how it looks. Okay, just wait for some more time, then XML, I'll discuss about XML JSON. Just the introduction, how it looks. So XML is my language. It's extensible markup language, which is nothing but a tag-based language. It consists of start tags and the end tags. See how it looks. Start tag and the end tag, and it is a tag-based language, as I said. So it will be start tag and the end tag. Okay, one thing. Start tag and the end tag. It consists of first of. Next is how it looks. See, it looks like this: name, and Priya. So in between start tag and the end tag, I'm going to write my data. Okay, and the start tag and end tag both must be same. Can you see? Name and name. So both the tags are same, but the value is different. So what I can write here, I'll write here start tag and the end tag, and I write here value. So within tags, value is present. Fine, but the start tag and end tag both must be same. Name and name. Both are same, but with a forward slash. It comes with request and response. Why it comes with request and response? Because actually the communication is like this only. From the request, I'm going to send some data, and from the browser, I'm going to send some data as a request, and from the server, I'm going to get back some data, which is nothing but my response. Fine. So, just a minute. Fine. So request and response is there. So XML request, some set of tags, some set of another tags. Both are the like this. Comes with many tags like version name. Okay. So in between start tag and end tag, here somewhere some versions, which version of XML you are using will be present. Okay. So this is all about XML. And now JSON. See how JSON looks. Let me relate it with XML first. So this is for XML, okay? Now JSON. JSON is my JavaScript object notation. It consists of key value pairs. Key and value pairs are there, which are enclosed within braces and the double quotes. See how it looks. These are my curly braces. Key is there and value is there. So for the same thing, this is something which I just write for my XML. If I want to write the same thing within the JSON, it will be, okay, it will be like here somewhere key and a value will come. Okay, and if we have multiple key value pairs, it will be like this. Fine. So what will be the key and what will be the value for my last name and Priya? Name start tag, name end tag. So name will be my key and Priya will be my value. Understand? So it's easy to use. Which language is easy? XML or JSON? JSON is easier. Okay, because we don't have any headache of that key, the tag name must be same, it must have some forward slashes, it must start with less than and then ends with greater than symbol. Fine, so no other extra tag. We don't need to mention the version of JSON which I'm using. And then SOAP structure. Okay, now here, Vijay, XML and JSON, it is a different thing. Now let's discuss about SOAP. You were saying how these both are same, how these both are different. SOAP is my protocol, right? And it consists of SOAP envelope, SOAP header, and SOAP body. Just see over here. This is how my SOAP envelope actually looks. SOAP protocol. SOAP protocol consists of SOAP envelope. SOAP envelope consists of SOAP header and SOAP body. Okay. And now, how SOAP and XML are both different. See, SOAP is going to work with the XML. See here. It can be implemented with XML only. No JSON is going to use. Fine. Now, the thing is SOAP plus XML. SOAP plus XML. Now, XML works with tags. Right? It's a tag-based language. Start tag, end tag. Now, how SOAP is related with that? Now, if I say the same thing, SOAP and XML, and SOAP consists of these all, I hope it's clear. Now, within this SOAP header, within SOAP body, tags will be present. And that tag, that language which I'm going to use. See, outline is of the SOAP, but in between the language I'm going to use is XML only. Here, my XML will work. Understand? So this is all about SOAP. SOAP consists of tags, and that language which I'm going to use within SOAP is XML only. Fine, and you'll understand more when we'll work. Okay, now REST. REST is what? REST is my architecture. REST can be implemented with both. See, this is just the introduction to each and every jargon. It is a building block. Okay. So REST is nothing but the outline of all the steps which I can follow to send my data, to exchange my data if it is request or if it is response. To implement REST, URLs are used, which in turn means single service. Okay, so as I said, for REST we can use WADL or URL. Okay, and what is the meaning of URL? We'll understand this after 2-3 days of our session when we'll work on our retail application. Fine, so it is my representation state transfer. So many things are there. Constraints and conditions. Okay, so this is all about REST. REST and SOAP is done. Now let's discuss about SOAP UI. Ramya was saying about SOAP UI. With the help of SOAP UI, we can use SOAP and REST. Now see, Ramya, what is SOAP UI? SOAP UI is a tool to automate any web service. It's an open source tool. Okay, this is just a platform. Okay, it is not going to give me any of the conditions like send this data, get back this response. This is just a tool. This is just a platform. Okay, it is a product by Everywhere, which is acquired by SmartBear in 2011, and now it is working with SmartBear only. And the SmartBear SOAP UI actually works. Okay, and it is a completely Java-based tool, and it's for its SOAP UI tool, for the GUI of SOAP UI, it's strings are used. Okay, so on the back end I can say that only Java is working for SOAP UI. Okay, but the language we'll use is Groovy. We can use Groovy to work with SOAP UI as my scripting language. Okay, so SOAP UI is what? SOAP UI is my tool. Fine. Okay, so this is the very important thing, testing. We are here for SOAP UI training, right? SOAP UI testing, web services testing, web API testing, REST API. What is the meaning of all these things? See, these all are the same thing. Okay, testing. Testing with SOAP UI, then it is SOAP UI testing. First, let's discuss about what is a testing. Testing is a process of executing a program or application with the intent of finding bugs. What is the meaning of this thing? It means that I am going to execute any of the program, I am going to execute any of the application, I am going to execute any of the web service, and I just want to see where the bugs are present. If it is present, I just want to find. Okay, and the second definition for testing is the process of validating and verifying that a product or application meets the business requirement, technical. So these are the scientific terms. Okay, so testing is I just want to test, I just want to execute, and then I'll check where the bugs are present if it is there. Okay. And then the second definition, validation and verification. What does it mean? Firstly, I'll do verification. Verification means check. I'll do some check. If it is this, if it is not this, then validation means changes. Then I'll make some changes according to my requirement. Okay, and that requirement are the business requirement and the technical requirements. Fine, so this is for testing. Now let's discuss about SOAPUI testing. If I'm going to test my web service with the help of SOAPUI tool, then it is SOAPUI testing. Then if I'm going to test my web services, then it is web services testing. I'm not going to mention any tool. If I'm going to test my web API, then it is web API testing. REST API means REST-based API. Again, these both are same things. These both are same things. Okay. Now Rest-Json means if I'm using REST as my architecture and JSON as my language, then it is Rest-Json testing. And if I say functional testing, then I'll say if I'm going to test the functionality of my web service, then it is functional testing. So these all are the same terms, and Rest-Json is very famous these days. Okay, with this name, Rest-Json testing. And the Rest-Json. Okay, we are done with testing. Okay, these all are the terms which are available under testing. Now, SOAPUI. As I just explained in the very starting, if I'm using my SOAPUI, we do have two versions, free version and the paid version. Free version is available free for SOAP. It's available as SOAPUI open source. Okay, and the pro version is available as Ready API. It's a Ready API which is SOAPUI Pro, and it is available for 14 days trial period, and then you do need to extend its license. I'll tell you the way how you can extend the license. Either you can buy it, you can purchase it, or you can the second way I'll tell you how to extend its license from 14 days to a lifetime or more 14 days. Okay, now a list of differences are there within. Okay, see, these both are the versions. Both are going to work in the same way, but there are many things which are different in both. Okay, there is a complete list about 20 things, or more than 20 even. I'll not go in more detail. Okay, 10 to 20 differences are there within the free version as well as within the pro version, which are even going to be very useful, which you must know. Okay, and these all are the versions for SOAPUI. We are done with all the topics. SOAPUI free version. Now, how to download and install? SOAPUI.org is the website, is the official website for SOAPUI. I'll tell you how to download and install the free version. I'll not discuss about pro. There is a downloads tab. Just go to this tab, and here is a SOAPUI open source. Okay, just click on to this. You don't need to even create any account. Then you just click on the save file. I do have already, so I'll not. You just click on the save file. Okay, and it will be shown over here. I'll just stop it. Okay, and then just double click and it will be installed. Done. Very easy to install it. And what is the future of web? Okay, last topic for today. What is the future of web service? See, as I said, each and every place, at each and every website behind the scenes, a web service is working, right? So its demand is going to increase a lot in the coming time. Okay, so I can say its future is very good. You can, yeah, it's do we need to do the same thing? Yeah, within the Mac as well. Yeah, for the downloading as well, it's the same website, you can download it. There are no different, any of the different version available. Okay, so future of web service is very good. As I'm saying, it's very good to go in the web services testing. Okay, and its demand is going to increase. There is no doubt on its demand is it is going to lower or what. Okay, so this is all about the topics for today. Tomorrow I'm going to start how SOAP and REST both are different, how SOAP work with REST, how XML work with SOAP, how JSON works with REST, how it actually looks. Today I explain separately how XML looks. I explain how SOAP looks. It consists of envelope, SOAP header, SOAP body, right? And I did explain about JSON. JSON is nothing but a key value pair within the curly braces, double quotes. How WSDL, WADL, URLs looks. What is the role of server? Here, where does server do exist? From where it comes? Okay, and then I'll tell you how to install the server, how to deploy the retail application on which we are going to work, and how WSDL we are going to get for our retail application. Okay, and then yes, tomorrow I'll tell you how to build the SOAP project. Fine, so these all are the topics.